Good morning. Look, look around before I begin. I'm not kidding when I say this is where the cool people hang out. Look at this. It's good to see all of you. Beneath the amber moon's soft gleam, in twilight's embrace where realms convene, with acorns, apples, and leaves of gold, Mabon's blessings, ancient and bold. In this season of balance and grace, we gather here in this sacred space to honor the earth and the sky and the sea, Mabon's magic, so mote it be. With gratitude deep and hearts aglow, we celebrate the harvest flow. By ancient ways and witches' art, we weave our spells with a loving heart. As day and night stand equal and fair, Mabon's energy fills the air. With wisdom old and spirits new, on the sacred eve, we release our fear. In harmony with nature's song, Mabon's blessing to all belong. By earth and fire, water and air, we embrace Mabon's timeless care.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Alice Erickson, and I'm your service leader for today. We welcome you to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Stockton, and we welcome everyone and anyone to join us in our search for truth and meaning from the teachings of science and the wisdom of the world's religions. Join us as we seek ways to live and act with principle in a confusing and imperfect world. So if you're new to our congregation, we lift up a special welcome to you. We hope you'll stay after the service and join us for coffee in the Patterson room downstairs. We look forward to getting to know you better. We also lift up a special welcome to those who are worshiping with us online. It's a wonderful thing to be able to expand this community beyond these walls. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. And now we invite everyone to center your mind and your heart during the prelude. Wiley. The hours of day and night are in balance. In honor of earth-centered traditions that celebrate this time of the year, we observe that the flaming chalice holds the elements of 4 directions: earth, air, fire, and water. The lamp oil is of the earth, the air that feeds the flame, the fire we light, and the chalice itself, the cup, the symbol of water. We light our chalice and reflect on the balance we seek in our lives, the balance we seek in our hearts, and the balance we seek in our world. And now if you'll join us with hymn number 100, I've Got Peace Like a River.
We sang this last time I was in the pulpit as well. You're welcome to stand if you want, and there are hand motions. So if you want to do hand motions, you can, and if not, that's totally all right. Just know that I'll be doing them up front, and we'll just do the 4 verses, if that's good. How's that? So stand if you wish.
Oh. And they don't have
Am I ready to start? Okay.
Go for it.
This is a reading from Andre Ravenheart called Maban and the Night and the Land of Night. Once there was a kingdom bright, ruled by the sun and bathed in light, where summer never went away, known as the land of day. Bounties blossomed in this land, blessed by the harvest mother's hand. Oh, warm winds blew, sunflowers swayed throughout the land of day.
Well, Harvest Mother gathered fruit and blessed each tree from leaf to root. By her side her daughter played beneath the light of day. But far beyond sun's golden mark, there was a queendom cloaked in dark, where shadows moved beneath moon's light, known as the land of night. Warned Harvest Mother, do not stray, but if by chance you lose your way, drink not a drink, bite not a bite, within the land of night.
But little Posy, wild and free, so filled with curiosity, one day gave chase after a sprite into the land of night. So enchanted by the delights while trekking through the trails of night, she wandered far and lost her way back to the land of day. And when her belly roared like thunder, Mother's words were lost to hunger, and she plucked 6 berries from a vine and ate them one.
O Harvest Mother combed the ground, but nowhere could her child be found. The worry in her heart so deep that she began to weep. And while the mournful goddess cried, the tree leaves withered and flowers died, while winds blew a frosty chill and all the world went still. The sun above saw summer fade, and he grew anxious and afraid that this would lead the earth to doom, and went to speak to moon.
On Mabon, when both day and night are equal, dark and light, the sun asked moon what she had seen, and this confessed the queen. Young Posy ate the fruit of night, and now can never walk in light. I'm sad to say she's here to stay and won't return today. But Sun knew Moon was also fair and made a deal right then and there that Posy only dwell in night 1 month for every bite.
And so, 6 months of every year, the Harvest Mother fills with cheer to get her daughter there to play throughout the land of day. And beneath the sun, they feast with friends through spring's rebirth and summer's end, aware that as the season turns, what once is lost always returns. Blessed be. My friends, so every week that we gather, we have the opportunity to share in joys and concerns. For when we share a joy, it is made more abundant, and when we share a sorrow, it is lessened. You have the opportunity to do that today if you so choose. If you want to come and put a stone in the bowl for a joy and concern, and if you wish to speak to it, you are welcome to do so. And always know that if you wish just to keep them silently with you, we will celebrate them as well at the end.
Thank you. I'm going to put this stone in the water for a dear friend, Sandy Pellins, who passed away. She was a good friend of mine when I lived in Oregon, and we're going back for her memorial service. We're leaving Tuesday. It's a sad time. She was just a really, really good friend, a funny person, one of the smartest people I've ever known, and just gonna miss her.
Thank you. Nice. Yeah.
This morning, just before church, we actually found out that Audrey's beloved art teacher passed away this weekend rather unexpectedly. So she didn't want to say anything since she's, very upset. But she really loved her and loved learning art from her. So it's a sad morning.
Good morning.
For those of you who are friends with me on Facebook, you may have seen one of my good friends in Mount Carroll had a house fire a week ago today. Due to financial constraints, long story short, they just didn't have homeowners insurance because of an issue with the home they couldn't afford to repair. Evidently, they bought a lemon and didn't know it. I know other people that happened to. The loan is paid off, so their mortgage is paid off, but now they're at ground zero and they have nothing. They're trying to save as much as they can from the home, which isn't a whole lot. They lost one of their pets. It's just been very traumatic for them. One of their sons is disabled, so and Becky herself is disabled, so they're trying to find a home that they can live in with two of their dogs. One of them is a registered emotional support animal, which does help, but it's still, they're big dogs, which makes it even more challenging for them. So any thoughts, prayers, positive energies would be greatly appreciated. They are split up currently, some families with some people, some families with another person, and the dogs are currently being boarded because they have no place to put everybody or anything. So yeah, any help would be greatly appreciated.
Thank you. I'll put a stone. Oh, is that good? Is that going? I will. Deal. A stone for all the hurt and pain and joys and hope. Maybe that's 2 stones. And a stone for all the joys and hurts and sorrows and concerns that rest on your heart today. Today, instead of a time of silence, we're going to do an apple meditation. Sorry, Jeff, I don't know which one I'm using. How's that? Does that work? Okay, good. Can I have my volunteers? And will you take a bowl and pass out apples so that everybody gets one? And Audrey, do you want to help too? If you'd like, come help. So, just make sure everybody gets an apple. And if you take 2, that's okay, we won't tell. For this is the season of Mabon. In the earth-centered traditions, this is the time we celebrate the equinox. Tomorrow, around noon, I don't have the exact minutes, the earth will be in balance with the sun in such a way that it's facing the equator, and day and night will be pretty close to being equal. This happens twice a year, once at the spring equinox. 119, thank you. Thank you for that. So around noon, I must have been looking at mountain time. So with that, the celebration includes many things. But one of the things is about harvest. And apples are a major part of celebration this time of year because they embody 2 things: a remembrance of the warmth of summer, a summer that made this happen, but also apples last a long time. Their sweetness lasts into the fall. And if you cold storage them right, they can last for months. They can last all winter. And so here we have a remembrance of summer that can take us into the fall and winter. So I would like for us to meditate on the apple. Join me. Take a deep breath. Place the apple in your hand in a way that just feels comforting to you. It may be holding it with two palms. It may be close to your stomach or to your heart, but in a way in which you feel as if you honor the apple. And then breathe. Look at the apple and reflect on the fact that not long ago it was just a seed. And somewhere that seed became a tree, and that tree produced fruit. And this apple hasn't been eaten by another animal that needed it. It made it to your hand. Reflect on that miracle and breathe. If you wish, smell the apple. Do you smell the sweetness? Do you remember the warmth of the sun that made the sugars what they are? And feel the skin. A skin that grew to both protect it, but also to hold some of its most nourishing parts. If you wish, you don't have to, but if you wish, take a bite of your apple. Savor the flavor. Savor the juices. Savor the skin. And know that that piece of apple is now going into a place where it will be digested. And when it is digested, it will join to nourish you. And it will continue to nourish the world as it moves through your body and beyond. Take another breath. And now let us sing. Number 1, 2, 3, Spirit of Life.
Today I want to share the words of Lori Gorgas-Hilban. The wheel of the year turns and turns again. The air cools, days shorten. The sun seems to weaken, barely clearing the horizon after rising before beginning its descent. This is our opportunity now to pause, balanced, breathing in, breathing out, knowing this present moment. This present moment is all we're guaranteed. Like the sun moving toward the shortest day, each moment arises and is gone before we know it. This is the time to pause and consider. As we enter the season of contemplation, of increasing darkness, of laying fallow, of dormancy, this is the season of letting go. Letting go of light and lightening burdens, of preparing for a long period of being still, going deep. Pause and consider binaries: light and dark, hot and cold, chaos and order. Neither extreme is inherently good or bad. It's all a matter of balance, of honoring the spectrum for which binaries mark the endpoints. Today we mark the midpoint between summer and winter solstice, a time to seek balance and be free. Blessed be and amen.
Thank you, Alice. One of the gifts today, by the way, comes from Sheila Heyman, who introduced me to the ice in the freezer. She's correct. Ice water, much more refreshing than regular. Thank you, Sheila, for that gift. So, I don't know if any of you all have this kind of cycle. Tell me if this reminds you of anything. In the spring, you might get ready to plant a garden. And in that garden, you're excited. You're like, okay, I see a plot of ground and I get excited. It's fresh, it's clean. I've been resting, I've been getting antsy, I've been getting restless. I've been looking through my seed catalogs. I've been watching the stores to see when they might start getting the seeds so that I can shop and save, and then the plants. And then I'm like, okay, it's time, I can now plant. And there's this whole new refreshing start of a cycle. You see the ground, you start to plan how you're going to do the different plants, maybe flowers, maybe vegetables, maybe fruits. And as you put them in and you mulch or you put weed barrier or whatever you might do, you look at it and go, this year I vow to stay on top of the weeding. I vow to be out there every day, because if I'm there every day, then I won't have that massive big weeding project that I have to do that always takes hours and it's always hot and all of that. And you start well. And maybe you get some strawberries, and maybe you get some of that lettuce that comes early spring, and any of those nice, and you're like, this is exciting. And then you put in your summer vegetables, maybe your tomatoes and your squash, and you're like, one squash plant won't do. I think I'll plant 12. Well, even 4 is bad, isn't it? Depending. And the cucumbers and whatever else you might plant at that point. And then you keep going, and all of a sudden, the work gets a little harder. And you get distracted into other projects, family, other things that you're doing. And then you go out into your garden, and the weeds have taken over. So you have some of those days where you weed, and you get it back maybe, and then maybe in August. And I'm telling you, this is how it happens for me, so I don't know if it actually happens for you. But every August then, I find that not only am I behind, and not only am I overwhelmed, I've lost my energy and my momentum. And I'm kind of like, Now, the abundance, if there is abundance, and normally it's been pretty lucky, that keeps me going. I don't mind going out to pick the tomatoes or to pick the cucumbers and to see what's growing, but I have no desire to go weeding, no desire. So I start to make concessions. I don't have to be perfect. I can let some weeds be there, and slowly that gets more and more. So right now, my garden in September, I'm still picking some tomatoes. I'm still getting green beans going galore. Downstairs for the harvest table, I brought in the last of my chard and my kale. I was really excited. But the weeds I did not touch. I'm tired of weeding. I don't want to do it anymore. And at this time, I actually start to look forward to the end of the garden season when I can rest. And when I get into October and I start to clear out plants and they go to the compost pile and we might have a fire that we enjoy while we burn some of the extra stuff, I enjoy the anticipation of a few months of resting and not having to worry about the garden. And then that comes. And winter sets in. And then the cold sets in. And it's not too long until I get restless again. And all of a sudden, I am dreaming and looking through seed catalogs and looking on the websites to see what the plants are and dreaming about my garden. And the cycle starts again and again and again. That cycle is a part of my life. Anybody here resonate in any way with that? Some of you? Right, see? So, and what is it about the fact that when we get there in like March or April and we're starting the garden, we're so excited that we completely forgot how tired we were in October, November. And when we get to October, November, we completely forgot. Or we remember it, but it's foreign, how excited we were in March and April. This cycle became clear to me when I was a part of the community garden in Galena, because I watched that it wasn't just me. All the gardeners were doing this. And one of the mantras that came in August was this sense of guilt and regret for not being able to keep an immaculate garden. And it all of a sudden hit me that that's not the point. Gardening and being in touch with the earth is not about being immaculate. It's not about perfection. It's about being connected. It's about understanding how you are grounded. So, here we are at the fall equinox. Think about the science of this. This is something that our ancestors did not know, and yet they celebrated. We have a sun that stays fairly stationary. It's moving, but while it's moving, we on a planet are moving around it, right? And while we're moving around it, it would be pretty even if our planet was up like this, right? But no, we're on an axis. We're tilted, what, 22.3 degrees, right? Something like that. So what that means is if the sun is tilted, then the shadows and the light hit the planet differently depending on where it is, right? So if it's here, it hits one way, and then there's a place where it hits and it's balanced, but then it gets around and it hits differently. So over here, longer days, shorter nights, because it's also rotating, right? And then it gets here and it's balanced, and then over here, longer nights, shorter days, and then it's balanced. So what that means for us in cycles is that we have 2 times a year where night and day are fairly equal. And when we get to those points, we're either looking forward to the growing days or looking forward or dreading the longer nights that are coming. How many people here are noticing that it's getting dark much earlier and it's coming fast? At least it appears that way. And we're feeling it. And remember about 6 months ago when you were like, oh, it's getting lighter longer, and we were enjoying that. There's something about light that feeds us, and there's something about dark that it takes energy to sustain. And yet, we need both. We need both of them. And so we have evolved as a species to use both. The story that Alice and I read by Alexander Ravenheart is a lovely story that actually tells about kind of how is it that humanity has tried to figure out how to live with growing light and growing day, or growing night and growing darkness. And how do we in our spirit figure that out? And the story is biased. It definitely likes the light more than the night. Most of us probably can relate to that. And yet, when thinking about balance, when looking for balance in our own lives, it's really important to reflect on how much we need the night. One of the things that Erin Bruce, who is a blogger and someone connected to the Earth Center tradition, said, and I'll put a thing in the newsletter to her blog, said, is that one of the things that we don't always remember is that during the summer and in the light, we work really hard. We try to use that light to our advantage, and we work harder in the summer than we do in the winter. We try to use all that light, so we're outside more, we're digging more, we're running more. And by the time we get to the fall, many of us are exhausted. We need that night almost to push us to rest, to give us a chance. I personally look forward to being able to cuddle up in front of a fire in the fireplace and read a book. Now, when I get there, I'm now looking forward to summer, but I still look forward to that rest. So there's a balance that we're trying to figure out. And that balance is something that can teach us about balance in the rest of our life and our existence. Where is it that we are balanced? Now, when you think about balance, do you think about like a scale or a seesaw? Where things are either, this is imbalanced, this is balanced, but things keep tipping? The meditation that Alice read looked at it that way. There's either dark or night, there's either good or bad. We kind of do dichotomies. And yet I'd like to introduce us to another thought that you can reflect on this week. What if balance is not about having the seesaw level? What if the balance is how it is in the cycle and circles of life we can stay centered? Life is going to be chaotic. Life is going to have both good and bad, and it's going to have variations in that. We are in a time when the anxiety seems to be heightening. But is it? Or are we just going through cycles in the evolution of time? Where is it that we, both as individuals and community, can actually just stay centered and balanced in the chaos that goes around us? That's the balance I'd love for you all to reflect on this year. How is it that while the world swirls around us, and the anxieties and the fears swirl around us, we can breathe and stay focused and centered? That's why meditations like the apple are so important. I encourage you to take time to pay attention to the small things in life this week and to celebrate them. And if things get anxiety provoked, stop and breathe and look for the time to center yourself as best as you can. And then also know that it's not just about your balance as an individual. How do we stay balanced as a community? So, my friends, happy Equinox. Yes, the days are getting shorter, the nights are getting longer. It's going to get cold. How can we enjoy the cold and the fire that we can gather around? or the rest? How can we find balance in the midst? For even though the days are getting shorter and the nights are getting longer and it's getting colder, guess what? We're not that far away from the days getting longer again. We can do it. Blessed be.
Whoops. And now we invite all of you to give of your resources. For in giving we receive. All gifts so go a long way to maintain our building, our programs, and the services we provide to this community and beyond our community. And during the offering, any loose money that is collected will go to our monthly service partner, which this month is the Elizabeth Food Pantry. The Elizabeth Food Pantry provides residents of Elizabeth and beyond who experience food insecurity the resources needed to meet their nutritional needs. If you're giving cash and you wish it to go to the church, please put it in one of the envelopes found in your pew. We encourage you to give as you are able. Now, may the morning offering be received.
What a joy to have everybody together today. May these gifts that you have given go far to make this world a better place. May these gifts that you have given of both your monetary resources, of your gifts, your talents, and even the gift of your presence go forward to make this world amazing. So every week when we gather, I am deeply grateful for all of those that make Sunday happen. From the person running AV Tech, to our lovely music, to our service leader, to the person who is making sure Zoom happens, and to our food. Everyone is welcome to join us for food following the service. Every week, too, this community continues to gather in multitude of ways. And in that, we still celebrate being community. It's not just about Sunday morning. Sunday morning is amazing, and we continue to thrive and grow. Alice, how are we doing? What kinds of things do people have that they can do this week or beyond to be a part?
Well, one of the things that you can do is that Michelle's inviting anyone interested in being part of a smaller fellowship and discussion group that'll meet once a month. So if you're interested, please speak to her after the service. It's possible that we'll have enough for a second group. We're encouraging you to be a part of all. And also, Julie Hartman-Link will also lead a workshop following the service on Sunday, October 5th, for anyone who wants to know more about our evolving understanding of gender and sexuality. This is for anyone who wants to understand the words, their meaning, and the ways that can be respectful in the diverse community. So to sign up to see Michele or Julie, we'll provide something nutritious and delicious for a light lunch. Also, if you just look on the back of your order of service, there's more things to keep connected.
Also, I wanted to point out in your order of service, there is a insert that you can take home Claudia, who is a member of the Elizabeth United Methodist Church and is active in this, has been active for years, is someone who actually comes and joins with us with our Fiber Arts group. She's regular every month. So she wrote this up, and I was not aware of the history of how the Elizabeth Food Bank began, but I encourage you to read about it because it's a really good story. Also, in addition, this Saturday night, my husband and I are throwing a lawn party. It was an auction event that we auctioned off. And it just so happens to be that there are some of the people who signed up who are not able to come. We've got room to party. Who wants to come? So if you do want to come, you are more than welcome at 4 o'clock to come and join us. See me and I can give you directions or email me. We'd love to have you. There's room for everybody. And I think that's all I had. Yes. Any other announcements? Go for it, Mark.
If there are any of you who were wondering where the Euro County their next Wisconsin sushi is, here I brought rolls today.
Now, and tell me what that is again, the Wisconsin sushi. We're having Wisconsin sushi for Fellowship Hour? Okay, sounds good. There you go. And if you don't know what Wisconsin sushi is, you're going to find out. I love it. So, do you have an announcement?
Not to remind everybody, but spooky season is upon us already. I know it's not October yet, but I like Halloween, so I start early. And we are thinking ahead to the trunk or treat on Friday, October 31st. Pumpkins. If you want to donate them, we'll decorate the Patterson room with them. We'll put some up here if we get enough. And we'll be carving some again this year. And of course, candy. And treats. If you do Oriental trading, we'll take trinkets too. We are not adverse to that. We got to give everything to the kids. Stickers, you name it. So if you have stuff you want to donate, we would really appreciate it. And if you want to come, you don't have to dress up. You can. We would just love to have as many people as we can to share with the kids. Thank you.
It was fun. We had bowling. So, see?
I'm back from down under, and I'm going to FACC on Monday.
Yeah.
So if anybody has any cereal they want to throw my way, and if not, you can bring it for next week, and we'll be going again in October. Or cash in the little bin.
Thank you for that, Jeannie. Thank you. And welcome home. Any other announcements? All right. There's a lot happening, and that is exciting. Thank you for all. All right. So now our closing hymn has a little bit of a story to this. Joan Harmett with the choir has looked at this as a way of maybe this might become a ritual. So at some point in the next few weeks, probably on October 5th, you're actually going to hear the choir perform this in a round. However, we're going to start practicing it. One of the other great joys, in fact, actually this is also an announcement, is that we have a choir and they practiced for the first time yesterday. In that, they sounded great. They are working with a volunteer from Galena High School, Liliana Asta, who is directing them. And she's going to direct them for this round. In that, too, we know that the choir is important. So the team is evolving. First of all, before we go any further, I would like for us to notice Thank you for that moment. In the past year, one of the people who led with the choir in amazing ways and had done so for years is Mel. And she has been amazing, and she did amazing work. And then when she moved to Galena, it became much more difficult, so she stepped down. Before we go any further, can we give a round of applause for Mel Heidenreich and the work that she has given to the, right? And if Mel is not online, we will send this clip to her. Okay? Okay. Then, when she needed to step down and move on to other things, Joan Harmott stepped up to coordinate. And she was working to coordinate the accompanist, and she worked to coordinate the choir and bring everybody together, and did a fabulous job and kept the choir together in the midst of a very difficult transition. Can we give a round of applause? When Mel and Joan were working together in this transition around our 125th, about a year ago, there were 17 in the choir. That is continuing. They're still about the same number. So whenever the choir sings, and they're going to sing on October 5th, you're going to watch half the congregation stand up, right? That's okay. Don't feel bad if you're not in the choir, and don't feel bad if you are. It's an amazing kind of thing. So Joan is now moving into a new role. Well, it's a part of the role that she's done because she's held so many things for so long. So now she will continue to actually coordinate the accompanists that we have each week and the accompanists with the choir. And Leslie Hawley is going to step in to be the coordinator of choir activities. Can we give Leslie a hand? Okay. Do you see what a beautiful thing it is when we step into leadership, but also know when it's time to step out? You can't go yet, sorry. No, not yet. So with that, just know that if you want to be a part of the choir, they are going to rehearse next Sunday at 9:15? 9:45. That's right, 9:45 to about 10:15, 10:20 kind of thing. And then they'll do the same then on October 5th and sing. So if you want to be a part of it, let me or Leslie know, and we'll just make sure that you know what's going on. How's that? And if you don't know, fake it. We're good. You're getting up and running. We got it. So sounds good? All right, my friends. So we're going to sing Go Now in Peace. And it's possible that this is going to become a ritual. This is an idea that Joan introduced that I think is absolutely beautiful. On October 5th, we're going to hear it sung as a round, but today we're going to just sing it together twice through. So let us just sing it and know that at some point the choir is going to give it even some more layers. Let us stand if you're willing and able and sing. No, we're all good. We're all learning this, Valley. This is excellent. Go for it.
Okay.
For the chalice extinguishing and closing words and the post.
At the end of our service, we extinguish our chalice, remembering these words from Anne Peake. May we make space every day to remember what the ancients knew, what has been woven into the tissue of our hearts since the evolution of humankind, that the universe is a miraculous wonder to be celebrated, and that a miracle that happens every day is no less a miracle.
Having let go intentions, named a curiosity, and committed our energies, having given ourselves to the lives, a balance, a purpose, and meaning, let us begin again in this ever cycle of life. Let us begin again in love. Blessed be.